drive home on Hot 103. Folks, looks like that storm is headed right for us. Gonna put some gas in my Furman generator, stop by the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and of course, watch Mike's weather page. Y'all stay safe out there.
All right, how about that? We did it! My one-man band here, me and little Hunter. So what's cooking? Happy Wednesday, sad Wednesday, angry Wednesday, whatever mood you're in, thanks for tuning in. How about that one? Whatever mood you're in, thanks for tuning in. So we're going to talk a little about weather. I'm Mike here. This is Hunter. Going to show off some new gear from my good friends at Furman. Hooked me up. I got a new hurricane jacket for the season I'm so excited about. If we ever get any rain. Anybody get any rain yesterday? Mike Soul got 7.5 drops. We got 38 drops of rain. Literally, I told everybody during the week, you're probably going to measure your rainfall in sprinkles. A couple people got pretty good dousing, but no, there really wasn't a lot of rain yesterday. South of us, Cape Coral, Fort Myers had some pretty good showers. Panhandle had some good showers yesterday. We had a little rain across the west central parts, but it wasn't enough to get too excited about. Amy had 2 drops. Hey, Richard Reimer, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Morning, Shelly. All right, we're going to say hi for a few minutes, and then we're going to get right into it. We got a little bit of weather. Got a couple big meetings today I got to get ready for. Doing the Dunedin Expo on Saturday. If you're around 9 a.m. Dunedin, Pinellas County, I'll be doing a Hurricane Expo. So come on out and see me. I get to do a little bit of speech. And I'll have a booth set up at 9, so come out. Hey, what's up, Karen? Homesick today. Not good. How you doing, Karen? Karen came to watch Emily play softball along with James and Richard a couple weeks ago over there in Melbourne. Yeah, I know, Shelly. I was drinking, calling Shelly last night. I was fired up. Hey, there's a lot of things I can't talk about, but good stuff. Kitchen, what's happening? Heading your way in a couple weeks. Got a lot of stuff coming up this month. Ronald from Michigan. How's Michigan? Michigan had some crazy weather the last couple weeks. A lot of snow and craziness. By the way, this is Little Hunter. Thank you for the anniversary there, Gus. Appreciate it. Audrey from Niceville. Lacey from Fort Myers. Sherry, what's up? We got our brew crew over there. We got anybody new in the brew crew? Anybody new? I'll tell you, Tiffany, at the end. Right. So this weekend we got the Dunedin Hurricane Expo at 9 o'clock. I'll be there. I got a booth set up. We got my good friends from Storm Smart and Flood Control there. Tiger Dam are going to be there. So come by and say, hey, check out Storm Shield. It's an amazing product that roll down hurricane protection that I went down there and saw their showroom down in Bradenton. It's amazing stuff. Huge testimonies from MWPs, especially through Ian. And then we have a Hurricane Expo the following Saturday at Palm Harbor. I'll be there doing that one with my good friend Erica. And that'll be the following Saturday, Mother's Day weekend. Coming up too, I'll be flying to Kansas City for my good friends Tammy at OSR. They're going to be doing a seminar out there with weather, and then I'm flying in from that to go to the GHC the 13th and 14th. Furman's setting up at the Governor's Hurricane Conference, so we'll be down there for a couple days. We got a wedding at the end of the month. Me and Emily are flying up for over the weekend. And then we're heading to the Gulf Coast Jam the end of May. Randy and Mark hooking me up, and Jim Beam. Shout out to Jim Beam. And then we got our cruise the first week of June. The Mike's Weather Page 4th Annual Cruise. Lots coming up. And once we get done around May 15th, guess what? Or May 15th. Well, no, once we get back around June the 6th, I'll be sitting in this chair all the way through summer. Not every day, but most days. Actually, May 15th, we're rocking and rolling a little bit more. We'll see. It's going to be a crazy schedule through May. So, as always, I got my Farmer's Almanac, my buddy Mike Soul. We got a MWPchat.com for our supporters of the page. We have a whole private social network over there that you can join. But Mike sent me the Farmer's Almanac. Has anybody ever used the Farmer's Almanac? What do y'all think of the Farmer's Almanac? Do y'all believe in the Farmer's Almanac? I really don't know. How the heck they can predict weather that far out? Probably worth a good read, though, right? All right, so our Daily Brew brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They got a picture on their social today about the Kentucky Derby. Is this weekend, Kentucky Derby. I'm reading Shelly's comments. So we love ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida. They're an awesome family of mine. They do a lot of stuff for the community that's behind the scenes they don't talk about. A lot of charities. They support Mike's Weather Page, and that's awesome. So thank you all. This weekend coming up. Now listen, Kentucky Derby. Stop by ABC. This weekend, Tampa Bay Downs. If you're into horse racing, right by my house, literally a half a mile from my house is Tampa Bay Downs, and a lot of MWPs hang out there. They have a Kentucky Derby day. We might be going. We might go Saturday. I don't know. Do guys wear hats, or is it just a girl thing? I don't know. But it's a big day, Kentucky Derby Day. So I might be there Saturday. And then Sunday is Fan Appreciation Day, where it's always free admission, and they have beer specials, hot dog specials. A lot of cool stuff. Great place if you're looking for something to do this weekend. The weather should be phenomenal to get out and enjoy some sunshine here and experience all that. We're going to talk about this shenanigans later in the little show. This is 18Z GFS. Everybody was sharing it yesterday, and oh my God, it was like, oh my God. So it's getting close to the season where we're going to be seeing a lot of model runs being posted, a little bit of panic, especially after last year. So hopefully you come to Mike's Weather page. Hopefully I can keep you up to date on trends and things to watch, things not to watch. That's what we do. We talk about potential areas. We put things like this into perspective. There's really nothing coming tropical. However, May is very, very active if you look back at the last 15 years. So not unheard of to get a system in May, even though the season officially starts June 1st. I hate that date because we have a lot. So yeah, I'm watching. I'm going to talk about it. We have a front line this weekend coming down on Sunday. It's actually going to bring up the rain chances for a lot of folks on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week as our front kind of stalls and lingers. Sometimes these fronts back up and we get some sort of a tail end spin. It happens either on the Atlantic side, Gulf side. So yeah, there's a chance. Very small chance, but I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit. Here's what the satellite looks like. Then we'll get into weather. What's a top hat, Francine? Do I need a top hat? Jay, say hi to Chas and Jen. I will. Who's that? Anybody smell rain yesterday? I guess there's a word for it. Didn't know. Sherry Brown, good morning. How's Kentucky doing? Bobby, good morning. Gulf Coast Storm Chasers, good morning. Where's my buddy Jesse at? Is he in here? Anyway. I need to get the girls hats. I do. Okay. I got to get the girls a hat. I'm sure I can get one on Amazon, right? Maria, there's a good chance of rain chances could be increasing next week for a lot of folks in the south and the east. So we'll talk about that. Hey, I want to do a big shout out. So check out that hat. First off, would anybody be interested in a hat like that? That was a cool hat. My buddies from Furman. But look what they sent me. Jason and Greg are like really good friends of mine. Not only does Furman support us and allow me to do what I love to do, they gave me so I always like to wear jackets during storms because A, it's raining, B, it's stuff flying. I like pockets to put my phone in. I need a lot of pockets. I need a hood for my head to block because I usually wear earbuds if I'm doing a live news interview. I was on CNN and Fox and News Nation last year. Jackets are important. This one is pretty cool. Look, they got my logo on there, and they got, of course, Furman on there because I had Furman last year, but they actually got my logo on it. Why is it not showing all the way? What's going on here? Oh, it's folded. There we go. There's that. That's awesome, right? Well, look at the back. Is this not the coolest thing? That's the back. The back is got my logo huge on it. Look at that. Powered by Furman. So, a cool jacket. I'm going to have batteries in it. I'm going to have USBs in it. I'm going to have earbuds in it. I'm going to have secret little zippers, and I got all kinds of little pockets here and there, and it's crazy. I love jackets during storm season, especially ones that have pockets, lots of pockets. So anyway, thank you, Jason, if you're watching. Appreciate that. We'll be wearing it soon enough. All right, so let's talk about the weather. Nice jacket, yeah. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Busch Gardens, Mike. How's Busch Gardens? Went there one time in Virginia. Jesse's sleeping. So that's current satellite. Check it out. High pressure dominating again. Very little rain in the south and east today. Big old blob of blobbiness across Texas, Oklahoma this morning. Let's talk about that. This is kind of the active map. This is really the only thing going on. A little bit of fog across the south, but that's it. Nothing else in the weather world really happening except look at the little coldness up there in Vermont. Remember Vermont? We learned about Vermont. I never knew the difference between Vermont and New Hampshire until somebody said the V is Vermont. So if you're watching kids, that's how I got through college was association. The V is Vermont. But anyway, there's a big old rain. A lot of flooding rains in Oklahoma and North Texas right now, so that's what's cooking there. It's going to continue today. There's another look at it, just showing you our front line. It's kind of stalled out. Red and blue is kind of a stalled out front line, not really a cold front. So that's what's happening today. And then there's your rain blob. This is the next 7 days. So this is going to tell you a couple things. One, heavy rain, Texas. They need it. They always need it. That's good welcoming signs for Texas, Oklahoma. They need it. But look at this. We're starting to see some rain across southern Georgia there, Carolinas, especially down in the eastern half of Florida. Now, this is for next week. We're going to show you what's going to happen here. We're going to have a lot more chances of moisture popping here as our high pressure slides away a little bit and we get a little funneling of winds and Atlantic juice for that Atlantic East Coast side. So there could be rain coming, Shelly, for you. And I'm sure everybody wants to know about that. I have boots. They're muddy boots. I had to wear the boots during Keaton Beach when Helene how about demolished? I don't use adjectives very often, but Keaton Beach area, bad. All little areas of that way just demolished from Helene. 19-foot storm surge I measured. 19. We're all in the same boat. That's a song, Marie. We're all in the same boat. Today's National Adoption Day. Didn't know that, Gus. How about that? Rays are moving up, Mark. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, they were behind last night. Did they come back? I forgot. We were watching them. I completely forgot to finish watching them. But they were behind 2-1. Yeah, they lost 3-1. Oh well. Tonight, Mark. You want your emotional... Do you really want a Frenchie, Shelly? I'll give you a choice. 10 years of free labor for one free Frenchie. One thing I do want to mention, and we'll get into weather. If anybody's kind of watching, doesn't follow me, you're probably wondering things I post. You know, I posted the full video yesterday of that Clearwater Ferry boat crash. And, you know, if you follow me, I was down there during live, and we were just on the water an hour before that. We live on the water. We love that area. I boat there all the time. So it meant something, told me to go and cover that, and met a lot of folks on the scene, and ran across that webcam that night. And Shelly will tell you, I didn't want to be the first to post it, so I waited. But I wanted to. A lot of people were asking yesterday about the full video, and it really wasn't anywhere. So that's why I posted that, if anybody's wondering, because it is a local thing, and I boat, and it's there you go. So I had a couple people say, "Why are you posting this?" Well, because I was there, and Associated Press used some of my photos I took. So I had people. It was on World News Tonight, apparently. I guess I called the Drew Garabo show yesterday. My buddy Drew and I talked about it, and John was talking about it. So I'm kind of in it a little bit. So that's the only reason I posted that. So I stay clear of opinions. All right, there's rainfall. There's a little more higher zoomed in on what might be coming next week. Let's talk about it. A little bit of rain west coast, but it looks like a lot of rain for the east coast. A little west, more east. And I'll show you why. This is through next week. So most of it starts Sunday. Rainfall here could be flooding today. Unfortunately, this is excessive rainfall outlook for today. I'm trying to get up here where I can see it. There we go. So that's today. Dallas is included in that, obviously, up in Arkansas, Oklahoma. Tomorrow, more of a spread out pattern from Texas to the Great Lakes, so nothing too heavy expected tomorrow. Comes back on Friday for more Texas. A lot of rain in Texas. Where's Judy at? Judy, one of our good friends in Texas. And Candy. Who else is from Texas? All right, so Texas there, and then on Saturday, a little bit of rain there again. So you can kind of get an idea. There's Sunday. That's kind of what's going on. All right. Storms today. Boom, storms today. There you go. We got a couple little areas to watch. We actually got Carolina, Virginia. Going to get some thunderstorms from the frontal line later today. Everything's pretty much locked in over Texas there. You can see that in enhanced level 3 out of 5. We got a little bit more to the north. Mainly tornado chances today. Pretty strong there in the yellow hatched area. That's EF2 conditions are greater. So, yeah, they'll be out there. And then we got a little section there in Illinois, Indiana we got to watch later also. So they could get a tornado watch today. This is for Wednesday. Then tomorrow, we'll go, 2 seconds. Here's hail, big hail. We know that. Hail's big with these tornado chances. Tomorrow, Thursday, look at that. Texas all the way to the Great Lakes again. It's been like a repeat Groundhog Day pattern. Storms, frontal lines, storms all the way across the U.S. diagonally. See, when you talk math in the weather page, horizontal, vertical, and diagonally. What's up there, Ian? Go Phillies. All my exes live in Texas, Dale, huh? You got some dust coming your way, Ian. Yeah, we'll talk about that, buddy. Yeah, I did look at that. You had a little bit, not a lot, but there was a little bit coming your way. It's dust season, right? We get a lot of Saharan African dust this time of year, especially through April, May, June, July even. All right, there's your storms tomorrow. What else we got on these pages here? Tomorrow outlook. Tomorrow we can see little tornadoes. Not a big chance, but still 2% means we could see something popping. So if you pay attention tomorrow. Across the Mississippi area here on Thursday, and then on Friday, there's hail tomorrow. Excuse me, I'm always a day ahead. There's more hail tomorrow down in Texas. So a lot of hail, and then on Friday it repeats itself there, and that's about it. Now that's it for storms through the weekend. Really, there's nothing big showing. Fire outlook for today. Need to point this out. We get elevated, level 1 out of 3 down for South Florida today. Low humidity today, dry conditions, and windy down there. So definitely watching Texas and Florida for fires today. Here's the animated look at the next several days. Let's talk about that. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. See if I can make it look a little better. Let me zoom out and put the date up there. There we go. So here's what's coming in a nutshell. A little bit of rain chances yesterday. This is yesterday's map. Why are we showing yesterday? Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. But anyway, hasn't been updated. But anyway, here's today. Sorry. Very little rain chances today. We're back to that high pressure pattern across south and east. There's our frontal line across Texas to today. Tonight into overnight, there you go. There's that front line tonight into overnight. Look at that, nothing cooking. Here's tomorrow, Thursday. Here comes that possible front line. A little more rain across the upper Gulf region tomorrow. Nothing down in the south and east tomorrow, Thursday. Friday, here comes that front. It's a slow-moving front, but there's your rain on Friday. This is Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, a little bit into the Florida Panhandle. And then on Saturday, there's our front line. It's a good little push. Believe it or not, some cool weather could be coming with this front line. Look at that. We're going to talk about that. Here is Saturday. Now, here it gets tricky. Here's Sunday, all right? Sunday, we're starting to see this front line coming through. We could see some rain Sunday across Florida and the East Coast, okay? The tricky thing is this front's backing up here early next week, and we could see a continuous flow of moisture for maybe Carolinas, likely more down into Florida as this flow off the Atlantic with this stalled out front. This is kind of what's coming early next week. So here's Monday. There's that front line backing up, rains into Florida. That seems a little more logical than the Carolinas at this point, but there you go. There's your rain on Monday, and then Tuesday it lingers with that front. Now we're going to go into some more individual models. The Euro or the GFS spun this around and actually made a little low pressure area in the Gulf, which is feasible, but it also did one over here too. But these old lingering fronts are what usually kicks off some early season action, and we're talking May now, which is very common. Okay, rain in Tampa, Your best chance was yesterday. So anyway, there you go. Backing up front. All right, let's look at some other stuff. All right, so let's look at temperatures real quick. I want to talk about anomalies, which is interesting. So we do have a front coming down. Let's take a look at the southeast and look at your temperature anomalies. And as we get into the weekend, here comes that front. Look, it's a little below normal. Tuesday, not a lot. -5, that just is the 30-year normal, whatever normal is. But it is going to be a little cooler than normal next week. There you go. Look at that. Even Monday, really cool, 5 degrees. But it's going to stick around a little bit. So seasonal, a little cooler than normal, not a lot. That's your low temperature. Your high temperature anomaly, because of the rains, it's going to be 3 to 4 to 5 degrees below normal. That's Wednesday. Let's talk about there's Sunday. This is your high temperature anomalies. Sunday, Monday. This is your high temperature anomalies. And then you can just see a little bit of cold weather. We can look at your longer range anomaly maps here, which I do like to look at sometimes. These are your daily 6 to 10 temperature outlooks. There's your below temperature outlook, May 5th through the 9th. There you go. A little bit below normal. That makes sense. We just showed the facts. Precipitation, a little above normal. Here you go. Let me zip around here and show you that. It'll come up. It ain't going to come up. Open. There's your possibility of above normal rains. Now, most of the maps are showing at middle state east, but anyway, could be some additional rains next week. Temperatures might remain a little cool through middle part of May with a little bit more moisture. So, we could be entering, a wet May, possibly. Here's your May 7th through the 13th, a little bit above. So we could see a pattern stick around. Rain for this weekend, air show. Sunday looks a little worse than Saturday. Let's take a look on since we had a special request. I feel like who was the guy Casey Kane taking special requests. All right, here's Saturday. Let's see. Saturday, Euro. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of rain chances Saturday. Not tremendous amount, but still beginning of that cold front coming up. This is 0.3, 0.4. Very little rain accumulation on Saturday. That's rain accumulation. So very isolated Saturday. And then we get into Sunday, and you can see things get a little bit more possible on Sunday. Here's your Sunday rain chances. So Sunday things definitely pick up a little bit on the Euro. GFS Sunday a little bit more, but it could be north. But Sunday's definitely not as good as Saturday. That's your Sunday rain estimates on the GFS. Remember my trick I told you? If you zoom out on the Windy app, it goes like that. And if you zoom in one click, it goes like that. So you go out, then you double click, and it gets like a half zoom. Secret. Don't tell anybody. There's your rainfall on Sunday on the GFS. Rainfall on the Euro on Sunday. And then Saturday, let's go back to Saturday rains since we have Kentucky Derby and stuff going on. Here's just Euro Saturday rains. There's that front line Saturday on the Euro. There's your Saturday rains on the GFS. So Saturday is definitely a good day across the south and east. Rains for the upper Gulf and rains for the mid-Atlantic Carolinas on Saturday. And then Sunday, there's your Euro rains for Sunday, and then your GFS rains for Sunday. So front line is coming. It's coming through the state, coming through the south, coming through the east. It's going to rain upper Gulf on Saturday. We'll see how much it brings on Sunday. It's going to linger around. We're going to talk about tropics here in a second. Remember what I was talking about the GFS yesterday, talking shenanigans. And most of the ones I follow joke about it, but then you get some that post it and say, "Oh my God, here's what the GFS 18Z yesterday showed." Just kind of giving it to you. You can see what's happening or how it happened. Here's the front line Saturday on this Tropical Tidbits. Here's your front line on Saturday night on the GFS. Here's I went through Sunday, but here's Sunday. GFS showing a lot of rain on Sunday. Possible. It's going to change, but that's something to keep an eye on. It's still a lot of days away. But here's what it did. It kind of lingered around. It's Monday. There's a lot of rain down south on Monday. It lingered around on Tuesday, and then it kind of backs it up here on Thursday. And watch what happens. It just kind of, as I was talking about, old tails of fronts. There it came up. Boom. So, I mean, believe it or not, a 992 could be a hurricane. But that's, I didn't post it, obviously, because the next run, overnight, it's gone. So it's really, they call them the phantom GFS runs. It still shows a stalled out front. This is next Wednesday. So, again, this front could stall out. This is next Tuesday. So this front is going to stick around. It's going to keep the weather kind of cool. But you go from one extreme to the next. And then the overnight, or this morning 6Z, did show a little low pressure over Florida there. But it didn't do any sort of development. But you can see the whole idea of it stalling out. This is next Wednesday. So we do have a lingering front. It's going to stick around. Tropical development. But again, looks like the first part of May we could see some increased rains from this lingering front. That's what I got my eye on. Tropical maps. Here you go. We look at things like this. First thing we do is look at European tropical cyclone probability maps. We'll zoom in to the Gulf of Mexico and nothing. Not even 5%. We look at individual actual low pressure centers. Zoom into the Gulf, and next week, just nothing. So that's bottom line. That chances are very low. If you're wondering, if you saw that shenanigans from the GFS. Even the European or GFS ensembles. So anyway, stalled out front. That's all I got to say. Columbia, Missouri, tornado chances. Well, today, a little bit. Well, not really today. I think today it's looking. Here's your map today. So I don't know if it's you never want to say never, but definitely not huge for Iowa and Missouri. Maybe a little bit, but a tornado mainly today is focused more on the orange. But hey, you never know. I mean, we could zoom in on Missouri for you if you want. Let's take a look. I think I'm going to St. Louis. I'm going to St. Louis. I think I'm flying into St. Louis. I can't remember. Oh, let's go to Missouri. Do we have a chance? Do we get to do? Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't know there was an actual drop down. So maybe, let's see if it even pops up. It's trying to pop up. Come on. So maybe eastern parts. That's all I gotta say. There we go. There's your outlooks today. So maybe St. Louis, yes. But lower than normal. How about that? Thank you for the stars, Michelle. Karen, good morning. What's cooking? What's Brew Crew doing? You don't have a cruise in May, Katie. Worst thing for me was having our meeting for next year's cruise on a cruise ship and not going on a cruise. Gus, have a great vacation. Where are you going, buddy? Homegrown threat. Yes. So we could talk more hurricane stuff Friday because I've been bouncing around a little bit. But yeah, when we're in this La Nina neutral pattern, we have more western push typically, which means more Western Caribbean and Gulf. So, Morgan, what's up, Morgan? Your 18Z tropical troubles are back. No doubt. I think I covered it all. You know, frontal line, lingering, maybe some increased rain chances across south next week. Cooler weather. This was an interesting map. Let me open this one up. This was yesterday. I meant to post this and I forgot. But look at all these wind reports from yesterday. 574 wind reports yesterday. 67 hail reports yesterday. That was yesterday's skinny line of storms. Ohio and Pennsylvania has been getting a lot of storms this year. And yeah, more today, tomorrow. Okay. Dust. Oh, yeah. Let's do dust for Ian. Dust. In the wind. Because all we are is dust in the wind. All right. So we had a little surge coming across right now. We talked about it on Monday. There it is. I don't know if it's going to make Jamaica or not. Very little bit right there. This is over the weekend. Look at that. So here's today and tomorrow. Could peter out a little bit. Could have some on the 3rd and the 4th. There's a big plume coming off for the Cape Verde Islands, the 7th. This is Saharan air layer. There's a big, that could be a big one here coming. Look at that little guy. This is May the 9th. That's a long way away, but that one could reach over there. Very normal this time of year. We get a lot of dust April, May. Then it kind of gets tangled up in our leftover frontal lines, which we can go to tropical tidbits here and see some of that moisture just lingering down here in the Caribbean. That usually blocks the dust. Got a little rain coming your way next Monday, a week from Monday. This Monday coming up. No, that's too far away. We ain't going that far out. I was Monday off. I forget it goes out 300 hours. Here's the precipitable. This is basically moisture Sunday, Monday. There's that rain. Kind of lingers around here through the week. There's that front line is lingering through the week. This is next Friday. I mean, there is a wave showing up a week from Monday, May the 12th, but that'll change. It always changes. Euro. This weekend, there's a little less moisture on the Euro this Saturday. Here's a big old line coming in, and then there's that Sunday rain chances popping. So there's our front line on Sunday. There's our Monday. It lingers and kind of just hangs out. Euro's very less aggressive on rain for the south on that particular run. 12Z about the same. So we definitely have conflicting thoughts on the GFS and the Euro on this lingering front line through next week. GFS showing a lingering front. A lot of rain possible on the GFS Tuesday, Wednesday. Euro ensembles basically just showing you increased rain across the south. So anyway, next week, cooler weather for the southeast, a little more rain chances for the southeast next week. How about that? Valerie, morning. Yeah, Ian, nothing really major coming. This little blob down here is interesting. It could be reaching your way fall on Monday, but even it's showing a little bit right here. The fall on Monday, the 12th, 13th. Holy crap! Man, that's sneaking up on us here. The GHC next 2 weeks from now. Oh my God. Got a crazy couple weeks coming up. My God, I forgot I'm doing this big RV show. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here, Louie. Let's say hi. Louie, come over. So I'm doing a big RV show Friday. Oh my God, I forgot about this one. This is in Orlando. What the hell? All right, so we got the Dunedin. So I got 2 meetings today. We have the what month am I in? April 30th. So we have the Dunedin Hurricane Expo Saturday, 9 o'clock. The following Friday, I'm in Orlando at a big RV show. And then the following Saturday is the Palm Harbor Expo. And then the 12th, I'm flying up to Kansas City for the OSR conference. And then I'm flying home on the 13th to go to Fort Lauderdale for the GHC Hurricane Conference. And I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'm home Thursday. And then I think that's it for a little bit. And then we got a wedding the 23rd. And then we come home, and then the 27th we head to the GHC. And then on Sunday, June the 1st, or Monday, we're heading to the cruise in Fort Lauderdale, or Cape Canaveral. And that lasts to the 6th. And I think June the 9th, things get normal. That's only a month away. My man. So that's it. All right, so we live on Friday. Remember, you can always find out when we're live again. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I always have the date right here if you're always curious. Right there. Boom. If you are on mwpchat.com, that's our supporter page. I always have events on there. You'll get notifications on your phone if you want, text alerts when I'm going live, so you never forget anything. Gulf Coast Jam, yeah, I know, Shelly, I forgot that one. That was Tuesday. So there you go. That's it. So appreciate you tuning in. Play a. That sounds fun, Gus. So there you go. We'll keep an eye on things. Nothing really else cooking right now. So there you go. See you on Friday, I reckon. Be good. Cheers.